number 8 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to the brushy mountains of North Wilkesboro as we're here today for the running of the First Union 400. Excuse me. We had surprisingly a pretty good race at Bristol, the last race on the tour here, and we are here today to see what happens here on this racetrack here. 60 laps of action here is the order of the day. On the pole for this event here is Zach Rogers in number 1 Skull Classic Oldsmobile. He's on the pole for this event. He'll be alongside car 42, Kyle Matthews in Melly Yellow Pontiac. Both drivers have yet to win this season. Can one of those two do it? Well, we'll find out. Row 2 has one of the drivers that has won a race this season. That's Cole Deaver, the GM Gimrit Chevrolet car number 3. He won this season over at Rockingham. He's alongside Keith Batson. Has off to a pretty good start here. Yet to win, but he's off to a pretty good start this season so far. Third row sees Jessica Shelton, car number 9, the Coors Light 4. She always runs well here at North Wilkesboro. Then again, she runs well about darn near everywhere else. And I'm not meaning that as a negative comment, neither. Alongside of her is Joshua Osborne, car 31, the Mom and Pop's Goodwrench Chevrolet. Fourth row sees Charles Sanford, number 24, the DuPont Chevrolet. He won this season at Atlanta. And Dylan Poteet in car 22. Fifth row sees Quentin Moore in 21 and number 12, Rob Evans. Evans won this season at Texas Motor Speedway. Next row sees Johnny Gardner, the winner this season at Bristol, the last race in the tour, and Snickers beat at car number 8. And Nathan Hudson, number 55, the Skull Classic Crown Petroleum Oldsmobile. Next row sees Levi McIntyre in 17, a Western Auto Chevrolet. Levi has one of our in-car cameras in this event, so does Shelton for that fact too. Jessica Shelton also carried an in-car camera. Alongside of McIntyre is Benjamin Miles in number 25, the Kodiak Chevrolet. Next row sees Seth Cole in 52 and number 66, Ryan Brommer. Next row has Jesse Turner in 94 and 98, Gene Sanford. Next row sees the King Richard Petty 43, driven by Mike Becker, and he'll be alongside Cat Batson, the winner this season at Darlington in car 27, the McDonald's Ford. Next row is William Brock in number 4 and number 26. In number 26, it is Matt McIntyre. Matt has our third in-car camera in the Quaker State Ford. Next row sees Nathan Orman in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. He'll be alongside car number 68, Cab Shearer, in the Country Time Oldsmobile. Next row sees Christian Russell coming off a tremendous run at Bristol in the Xerox Antifreeze Ford, and is alongside Mitchell Collins, who also had a good run at Bristol, the last race on the tour as well, in the Crown Petroleum Oldsmobile. Next row, Jay Jefferson at number 30, the Pennzoil Pontiac, and number 83, Alex Miller, the Bullseye Barbecue Sauce Oldsmobile. Next row sees Phil Parker, number 5, the Levi Garrett Chevrolet, who won the Daytona 500. He'll be alongside Wade Brummer in car number 70. Next row has number 2, Dylan Young in the Miller Genuine Draft Ford, and number 75, Laura Chung, coming off her first top 10 finish when she finished 10th at Bristol. Next row sees car number 29, Zachary Fitzwater. He'll be alongside car number 14, Ryan George in the Cornflakes Chevrolet. Next row sees number 33, Jacob Thibodeau, and number 10, Paul Minnick is alongside. Then it's Jordan Anderson, number 90, and beside him, Adam Garcia, number 11. Then it's Jackson Haywood in 15, and number 18, Matt Haas, and starting shotgun will be Henry Sanford in car number 71, the Big Apple Markets Chevrolet. So that's the starting lineup for this race here at Wilkesboro. Here is the field of 41. Await the word to start the engines here in just a few seconds from now. It's the second race of 3 straight races on the short track here. We had a great race at Bristol, and we hope for another good one here today at North Wilkesboro. As the field gets set to go racing here. Well, here comes the command to fire the engines for the First Union 400. Field coming off corner number 2 here as the field pace car already ducks off on the pit road. Pit road entrance is at going into turn 3 here at North Wilkesboro. Zach Rogers and Kyle Matthews will lead the field down to the green flag for 60 laps of racing here as they come off turn number 4. And the green flag flies. The first Union 400 is underway. Seeing 3 wide racing already right here as Cat Batson gets caught up in the high side here. In 27 here, Christian Russell made a pretty darn good move here, making it 3 wide here and making it stick. As you see, Kev Shear now gets up and almost gets booted up really high here as Cat Batson tries to look low on him. Meantime, you got guys like Jay Jefferson, Phil Parker, and Dylan Young trying to get by the 30, the 5, and the 2 as they come into turn number 3. Working on the third lap here, 3 wide as well, too. Well, we saw that here for a minute here, but they were 3. Here they are. They are 3 wide now. Jay Jefferson, Matt McIntyre, and Gene Sanford coming off turn number 2. McIntyre tries to pull ahead, but then boots Sanford up the track here. Here to come off turn number 4. Nice speed shot right there between the while looking at the Parker and McIntyre battle. Now Christian Russell now dives low on Nathan Ormond for position. That is the 7 and the 6 going at it. Kyle Matthews stuck up on the high side of number 42 car as Johnny Gardner now goes by him. That is for the 7th position. Matthews running in 8th, or actually Matthews was 6th actually. Gardner now takes 6th away from Matthews, excuse me. Osborne's 8th. Then Levi McIntyre 9th and Seth Cole running in 10th. In 10th position. Quentin Moore runs in 4th position. Jessica Shelton runs 3rd, Cole Deaver is 2nd, and Zach Rogers continues to lead this race here. In number 1, he's led every lap so far. On board with Jessica Shelton in number 9 as she runs in 3rd position right now. She has won here at North Wilkesboro before. Cole Deaver up ahead of her as they come off turn number 2, as her and Zach Rogers both have yet to win a race this season. Deaver and Sanford and the other 2 in the top 4 has won this season. We've had 7 winners in the first 7 races so far this season here. Rogers and Shelton would love to make it 8 for 8 here in this upcoming season. Here in this season, I should say, in season 26. Quentin Moore, see him running in 5th position. Quentin always runs well at North Wilkesboro. In fact, he won last season's event, driving the Quaker State colors. Started from the pole and led every lap in that race. Moore runs in 5th position. 6th is Gardner, we mentioned. Then it's Osborne, McIntyre, Seth Cole, and now Jesse Turner. Kyle Matthews still slipping back. Matthews won the last time he was at North Wilkesboro for the Holly Farms 400 last season, but this season, well, you get up on the outside lane at North Wilkesboro, though, and, well, you're pretty much screwed for a while. And Matthews wondering, am I going to find a hole on the low side of the track here and to try to sneak down the low? Well, I don't know. That line of cars looks pretty long here on the inside, so... But anyway, right now it's William Brock getting past Matthews in the number 4 car here. That's Brock I'm talking about in the number 4. Keith Batson in 28 now dips low to try to get past. And Batson also with a bad start. He started this race in 4th position. He's dropped now to 14th, make that 13th now, as he gets past Matthews and with Benjamin Miles in tow in number 25 here. Rob Evans behind him in number 30. Also Jay Jefferson. As we continue to watch this battle track, that's the way it looks on the track right now. As Miles and Matthews are now slugging out. Now Rob Evans is the next one to take on the 42. And Jay Jefferson just about put bumper to Rob Evans here in the number 12 car. Bill Parker and Dylan Young, who started about middle to back of the pack there, they've worked their way up to the field nicely at this point here. Parker trying to take 17th away from Jay Jefferson. But they're all chasing Zach Rogers right now in the number 1 Skull Classic Oldsmobile. It's been kind of a up and down start for him this season for the number 1 Skull Classic team, though. But Rogers' team, though, apparently they got the North Wilkesboro setup figured out well here, and they might probably want to bring this car to the next race on the tour at Martinsville, which is the next race on the tour. But Cole Beaver seems to be closing in just a little bit. Let's see what the margin was the last time by. Margin last time was 54 hundredths of a second. This time by, let's see what the margin is. I know it's early in the race, but still. Margin this time, Beaver chops at the 4,200. So he is closing up a little bit, though. Shelton is right behind him in the number 9 car, averaging so far over 110 miles an hour after almost 20 laps in this race. As they come off turn number 4 here. And margin's now 4,400. So interval staying consistent here at this point. Checking the speeds that last time by out of the top 5. Shelton was the quicker car. There's to the last of the field right there, battling out here. Gene Sanford right now at the tail end of the field at this point. Matt Haas up ahead. There's Alex Miller and Jackson Haywood going battling for position here. Haywood in the 15, Miller in the 83. Pair of red and white cars. One's a Ford and the other an Oldsmobile. And there's the threesome that surprised us all at Bristol, the last race of the tour here. Laura Chung, Christian Russell, and Mitchell Collins. As those 3 cars finished in the top 10 of Bristol. They were 7th, 8th, and 8th, 9th, and 10th in the final running order, with Chung finishing 10th, Collins 9th, and Russell in 8th. Right now, though, not really well at Wilkesboro at this point here. Chung is in 33rd, Russell 34th, and Collins 35th. As those 3 got shuffled back to the back as well, especially Collins and Russell did. So did Nathan Orman for that back 2 in the 6th car. He started about mid-pack and he's back to the 36th position at this point. Orman's best finish this season was a 2nd at Atlanta, the last a few races back. There was the car that dominated last season's event with Quentin Moore driving. This season with Matt McIntyre behind the wheel, that car dominated Richmond, the last race, the first short track race of the season. But this season, not quite the combination they had at Richmond, let alone this event last season. Then again, last season they were driving a Buick. They were running Buicks. This season they were running a Ford. One of the 14 Fords in the field. You're riding with Matt McIntyre right now. He's in 25th position at this point. He's running right behind Kev Sheeran, 24th. Moving up on halfway in this event here. This time by completes 28 laps, I should say, down to 32 laps remaining here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Nathan Hudson runs in 26th position right now with Paul Minnick in 27th. So everybody is now pretty much strung out single file at this point right now. As you see a battle to develop between Joshua Osborne and Levi McIntyre. McIntyre running in 8th, Osborne running in 7th. Speed's starting to drop off a little bit now. Lap speed's a little under 110 miles per hour here. And as you see now, Jessica Shelton is now close up on Cole Deaver for second place right now. As Deaver's still trying to catch Zach Rogers in the front position right now. Rogers still with a rather okay lead at this point there, the number 1 Skull Machine. Started from the poles, led every lap so far. Deaver started this race in 3rd. Shelton started this race in 5th. Charles Samper still remains 4th. 5th still remains Cole Deaver. And Johnny Gardner runs in 6th position at this point. And there's the view from Levi McIntyre's in-car camera as he runs in 8th position, we mentioned. Levi also a former winner here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Except his win was in the Holly Farms 400. It was a few seasons back here. Osborne's won the first Union event before, too. That was in season 15 or 16. I can't remember which, but still. Both of them trying to close up on Johnny Gardner in 6th position right now in the number 8 car to Snickers Buick. Laps here, Wilkesboro, it doesn't take all that long. They're about 20 seconds a lap. Seth Cole runs in 9th position, and 10th and running out the top 10 is Jesse Turner in the number 94 car. Then it's Mike Becker in 11th. 12th is William Brock. 13th is Keith Badson. Benjamin Miles 14th. 15th is Rob Evans. Kyle Matthews has dropped from 2nd to 16th right now in the order at this point. Kyle, I'm sure hope to start low. Kyle, I'm sure hope to start on the low side of the track here. Next race on the tour, we come back for the Holly Farms 400. Bill Parker 17th, Dylan Young 18th, 19th is Jay Jefferson, and Zachary Fitzwater rounds out the top 20 with Dylan Poteet 21st. 22nd is Ryan George. Then it's Ryan Brommer, Kev Sheeran 24. 25th is Matt McIntyre. 26th is Nathan Hudson. Then Paul Minnick. Jordan Anderson is in 28th, excuse me. Henry Samper started this race in 41st and runs 29th at the point, so he's picked up a few spots. And Kat Batson right now runs out the top 20, or runs out the top 30, excuse me, in 30th position. Kat, the winner at Darlington, but she is not having much luck here at Wilkesboro neither, unfortunately for her. But still, car number 1 in P number 1. It is Zach Rogers still leads this race here, but now starting to feel the heat from both Cole Deaver and Jessica Shelton. But the top 5 all running nose to tail with each other here. As check the interval this time by here. It's 28 hundredths of a second between the front 2 cars. We're now down to 20 to go, 19 to go this time by as we complete the 41st lap of this race. Margin that time by is still 28 hundredths of a second. So between the front 2 cars. On board with Jessica Shelton as she pulls up in the back bumper of Cole Deaver's car. It's down to 35 hundredths of a second the last time by, or actually up to 35 hundredths, I should say. Excuse me. Deaver lost a little bit of ground that time by here, and Shelton trying to push him up to the back bumper. Off turn number 4 they come here. First through third right now, less than 6/10 of a second between those two cars, or between those three cars, I should say. Sanford runs in fourth position. Still, as you're riding with Shelton in third spot, completing lap number 45. We're down to 15 to go. Rogers starting to pull ahead just a little bit, though. It was 4/10 of a second the last time by between the front two cars. See what it is this time by. This time by, it is same margin, 42 hundredths of a second here. And actually it's 38 hundredths for the last time by. Jesse Turner has the fastest lap race so far at 111.276 miles per hour. Well, it's been single file racing pretty much most of this day here at North Wilkesboro Speedway here. So as hopefully we was hoping to have a little bit of a race as we did at Bristol Motor Speedway here. Martinsville, well, maybe a different story possibly, but we'll see when we go to that track next on the tour. Martinsville's next, and then of course that's the shortest and the slowest other tracks. And we go from that track to the longest, and we go from the shortest and the slowest to the longest and the fastest at Talladega, which is after Martinsville, obviously. Then after Talladega will be at Sonoma. Then the final race before the All Stars at California Speedway for the Auto Club 400. That's the last race before the All Star Weekend at Charlotte, which starts, of course, with the Winston Open and then the Winston All-Star race over there, and then we come back to Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. So that's the next race. That's the races that we will coming up on the circuit here. Races schedule back up to 34 races after we added Texas back on the schedule, which we ran that track a couple races ago. Battle for second between Shelton and Deaver. Deaver in the 3, Shelton in the 9. Ford versus Chevrolet, and you got two Chevrolets, 2 Fords, and an Oldsmobile in the top 5. The lone Oldsmobile being the leader of the race right now. In Zach Rogers, he's led every lap so far. Kind of like a baseball pitcher having a perfect game going on, and he does not want to give it up. 31 and 17, still battling it out there. Osborne versus McIntyre. Now those two try to close up on the 8 car of Johnny Gardner. Take a look and see if there's any battles going on here, which it doesn't look like there is at this point. Looks like they're all content to hold their positions right now. So that's single file pretty much all the way around North Wilkesboro Speedway here as in the first Union 400. Deaver again trying to close up a little bit on Zach Rogers here for the lead position here. Be 4 laps to go this time by for the number 1 Skull Classic Oldsmobile. And apparently there's problems, and I think and it looks like there could have been problems with Charles Simmer's cars. What it looks like in the 24 car. There is problems with Charles Simmer's car. Sanford is on pit road late in the race. He was running 4th position. Rogers has been smooth all day long, but here Deaver is at 1 less than ever, but it's not going to happen. Zach Rogers wins the first Union 400 at North Wilkesboro. Zach Rogers, the number 1 Skull Classic Oldsmobile, goes to victory lane here today at this racetrack. Cole Deaver comes home second. Third will go to Jessica Shelton. Fourth will go to Quentin Moore, and fifth position will now go to Johnny Gardner. So 8 races are in the books here, and there's the dejected Charles Sanford. He had as we mentioned, had a problem on pit road. Had a tire problem, a flat tire late in the going, with about 4 laps remaining, that caused him to come on the pit road and fall a lap down, as he, well, unfortunately for him, come home in 41st position. Zach Rogers wins this race, average speed of 108.951. Here, then Deaver, Shelton, Moore, Gardner, and in the top 5, Joshua Osborne holds off Levi McIntyre to finish 6th, McIntyre 7th, Seth Cole 8th, Jesse Turner 9th, and Mike Becker comes home in 10th position. William Brock was 11th, Keith Batson, Benjamin Miles, Rob Evans, Kyle Matthews the top 15, then Phil Parker, Dylan Young, Jay Jefferson, Zachary Fitzwater, and Dylan Poteet was the top 20. And my bet on Charles Sanford, he did not finish dead last. He ends up 1 lap down in 40th. Henry Sanford was the car 2 laps down in 41st position, sadly for him. So at least he finished ahead of your brother, Charles. So, but he finished behind his sister, who was the last car on the lead lap, in 39th. Here, we'll go up from 39th there while we're at this point here. Matt Haas was 38th, Alex Miller 37th, 36th was Jackson Haywood, Jacob Thibodeau 35th. Then Nathan Orman, 34th. Mitchell Collins, 33rd. Christian Russell, 33rd. Or 32nd, second, excuse me. Laura Chung was 31st. Then Adam Garcia, 30th. Wade Bromer, 29th. Kat Batson, 28th. Jordan Anderson, 27th. Paul Minnick, 26th. Nathan Hudson, 25th. Matt McIntyre, 24th. Kev Shear was 23rd. Ryan Bromer, 22nd. And Ryan George was 21st. And that's how they will finish here today at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Congratulations again to Zach Rogers, the winner of the first Union 400, as he gets his first victory of the season and 8 winners in the first 8 races of the season. Can we make it 9 for 9 at Martinsville? Well, we'll find out. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got NRSS gaming videos, whatever president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for his channel. And be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup Series. I guarantee his races are a whole lot better than what I have to offer too. And always an exciting race, and always an exciting series he's got going on too. And also be sure to check out some of the online leagues from Seth as well on this channel. So that will do it here today at North Wilkesboro Speedway. For now, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. We will see you at Martinsville Speedway.